Keep your hands up and just stay focused and you good.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. We're on it. Okay, good to see you, man. All right.
Eubank Crawford 2026. I don't think that's a competitive fight in the league, like, at all. And the audacity of Chris tweeting that is a bit mad. Yeah, not very well thought out, because I feel Conor Ben's gonna ruin him.
Really?
Yeah, because, and I'm not saying that being a hater, and there's a valid reason I'm saying it, is because I feel the last fight took way too much.
I don't know if this is true, but if it is, this is a smart move by Terence Crawford. He's been calling for the Canelo fight. Obviously, Canelo's been campaigning at 168, Terence Crawford 147. That would be 3 weight divisions, right? This is against Chris Eubank, 2 weight divisions up to 160. And Chris Eubank, he's not a bum. Chris Eubanks, he might not be like top elite, but he has elite skills, and he's right there scratching at the really top shelf elite level. So very smart move.
Chris Eubank Jr. has never been a fighter to shy away from the spotlight, but after Canelo Alvarez's shocking defeat to Terence "Bud" Crawford, his words carried a different kind of weight. This time, Eubank Jr. wasn't just talking about fights, he was talking about legacy, about inserting himself.
Conor Ben for the second time. Either one of those two men, in Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, I would love to share the ring with.
Into boxing's most elite conversations. In the aftermath of Crawford's dominant dismantling of Canelo, Eubank Jr. boldly called out the newly crowned pound-for-pound king, making it clear he wants his shot. The hunger in his voice was unmistakable. This wasn't just opportunism, it was the battle cry of a man who has weathered criticism, endured pain.
His view is, if he can make the statement that he needs to make against Matt Kobarov, then that will engage the Charlo fight. And then when he makes that statement, as he thinks he will, and I believe him so long as he's actually engaged psychologically, he'll do that job as well.
Painful setbacks, and fought his way back into relevance. For Eubank Jr., this challenge felt more like destiny than desperation. Having already handled Conor Ben, Jr. now has his eyes set on the very top of the sport. With Canelo's crown slipping, Crawford stands.
But I can see how Junior can. And effectively, I'll tell you, it's work rate, volume. That's how I think he thinks he can do it. And I'll back him all the way. All I say is, you can't carry your hand like this. You can't box like that. It's gotta be stuck there. Otherwise.
Alone as boxing's supreme fighter, and Eubank Jr. wants to bring that spectacle to the UK. He envisions a massive showdown under the bright lights of a packed British arena, the kind of unforgettable night that becomes a part of boxing history. But Eubank Jr. isn't alone in his vision.
He wants to fight in the UK. It's a huge market. There's not many other guys there that people would like to see fight more.
Father, the legendary Chris Eubank Sr., has stepped forward with his trademark conviction. A man with decades of experience and one of the most distinctive voices in British boxing, Sr. sees a clear path for his son. Take care of Korobov, he insists. Handle Jamal Charlo, then bring Crawford to the UK. For Eubank Sr., this isn't...
I think the styles make fights. I don't think his style will do it. He's brave. He showed that. He's tremendously brave. And that the both of those guys, they didn't... they came out that ring with nothing. 2 or 3 days in hospital. That tells you all you need to know. They left everything in the ring. And let's see. But it's a fight. As I say, anything can happen in
some wild fantasy. It's a roadmap of ambition and hunger, forged through years of watching his son fight through adversity. While he has deep respect for Crawford, as every fighter does, he also believes Jr. possesses the engine, pressure, and relentless work rate to trouble even the most complete fighter in the game. His message is simple but powerful. Crawford is great, but no one is unbeatable. Constant pressure and high-volume output can disrupt even the so-called pound-for-pound king. It's a blueprint born from both conviction and strategy. A father passing down hard-earned wisdom to his son. For Jr., this isn't just about a fight. It's about creating a spectacle, a historic night fueled by the electric energy that only...
You know, he was a little frustrated in there, but that's part of the game.
The last question is that I know it's right after the fight. Have you feel yet the significance of this win and what it means in your legacy and your career?
To be honest, when I set my sights on doing something and I know what I'm capable of, it's not like a surprise to me. It's a surprise to y'all because y'all didn't believe me, you know, but for me, I knew I could do it and I believed that I could do it. I just needed the opportunity.
Only British boxing can deliver. A packed arena roaring with passion, tilting the psychological scales and injecting an element of unpredictability into the contest. Still, not everyone is convinced. Veteran promoter Frank Warren has expressed caution. While he openly admires Eubank's bravery, he questions whether Jr.'s style has the tools to crack Crawford's complex puzzle. Yet even Warren admits that in boxing, bravery matters. One fearless performance can change a fighter's entire narrative and redefine a career. As for Crawford himself, his response to all the noise has been calm, composed, and brutally honest, exactly what fans have come to expect. Throughout his career, while critics doubted him and pundits questioned him,
there's an argument that he becomes an all-time great with that performance, like you say, because the majesty, the poise, the presence all week, the pinpoint accuracy of everything he did in there, to the fact that in the end Canelo was frustrated and knew he couldn't do anything to Crawford, and he started...
Visibly frustrated, wasn't it?
No, visibly frustrated, that he started to do a weird kind of showboating because he didn't have any answers for what was happening and unfolding in front of him. I think Terence Crawford has rubber-stamped himself as an all...
Crawford never wavered. When his moment came against Canelo, he didn't just win. He dismantled boxing's so-called face piece by piece. For Crawford, this was never about shocking the world. It was about confirming what he already knew. Greatness isn't stumbled upon. It's built through years of sacrifice, preparation, and unwavering belief. That's why fans now call him not just the pound-for-pound king, but the GOAT of his generation. Any fighter who calls out Crawford, whether it's Chris Eubank Jr. or anyone else, isn't just stepping into the ring with a man. They're stepping into the ring with history itself. Boxing analyst Gareth A. Davies summed up the magnitude of Crawford's performance perfectly. What we saw against Canelo wasn't just a win, he said. It was a masterclass. Crawford displayed the...
I thought that Crawford won a lot of the early rounds, and then somewhere in the middle, Canelo kind of came back a little bit, but there was a little more, a little better effort, I should say, from Terence. Maybe it was the speed for Canelo, couldn't adapt to it, but what a crafty guy Terence was against Canelo.
The poise of a king, the accuracy of a surgeon, and the patience of a seasoned general. Canelo, once considered untouchable, was reduced to empty showboating. Frustrated by his inability to find answers, Davies believes this fight wasn't just about Crawford proving he's the best of his era. It was about cementing himself as one of boxing's all-time greats. Trainer Abel Sanchez offered a tactical breakdown of the fight. From the opening bell, Crawford's speed, timing, and ring IQ were simply a step ahead. Canelo had his trademark bursts of offense during the middle rounds, but even then, Crawford never flinched. He adjusted, elevated his game, and showed why he's the most adaptable fighter in the sport today. According to Sanchez, what truly set Crawford apart was his unpredictability. While Canelo was still trying to solve the puzzle, Crawford had already written the answers. That level of mental sharpness is what makes him so dangerous. For challengers like Chris Eubank Jr., the real test won't just be surviving in the ring with...
Charlie, what did you make of that performance from Terence Crawford? What did you make of the performance?
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable? Is that the best boxing fight you've ever been at?
Awesome, man. Enjoy your Netflix, man.
With Crawford, it will be figuring out how to disrupt the rhythm of a genius. Even outside the boxing world, Crawford's victory reverberated. Hollywood icon Charlie Sheen captured the emotions of millions with his stunned reaction on social media. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. When a generational star like Sheen is left speechless, you know you've witnessed something extraordinary. Chris Eubank Jr. knows the scale of the task ahead. Calling out Crawford isn't just about chasing glory, it's about daring to challenge the very limits of boxing greatness. Whether he succeeds or fails, one thing is certain: if this fight happens, it won't just be another night under the lights. It will be a clash of ambition, legacy, and history itself. Crawford's fight against Canelo wasn't just another big night in boxing, it was a generational shift. Canelo, long positioned as the global face of the sport, was neutralized, humbled and dismantled by a man who was hungrier, sharper, and technically superior.
On points, bro, crazy.
How did you have it?
I had him up, bro, convincingly. Awesome fight. Hey, science of the sport. This guy adapts. I knew it.
How did you know he was going to win? Why?
He's got too much ammunition. You know, he's southpaw, orthodox, on the back foot. That's what changes good from great, is knowing how to adapt. You know, back foot, front.
Hollywood star Charlie Sheen's stunned reaction summed up how millions of fans felt: pure astonishment. It wasn't Crawford's power or flashy combinations that shocked the world, it was his ring generalship, his ability to control every second of the fight, and his strategy that turned one of boxing's most elite fighters into a frustrated ordinary man. Crawford's greatness lies in his adaptability, a quality that sets apart good fighters from truly legendary ones. Gopa, a respected boxing analyst, put it perfectly. Adaptability is what elevates a fighter from good to great. Crawford isn't just great, he's the embodiment of adaptability in modern boxing. Against Canelo, Crawford put that adaptability on full display. He switched stances seamlessly, dictated the tempo, and made real-time adjustments that kept Canelo guessing. When Canelo pressed forward, Crawford countered with precision. When Canelo hesitated, Crawford dictated the action. Nothing about his performance was...
Because what I just told you, I think Crawford is very talented, and Crawford is hungry to become a legend. He wanted to become that three division undisputed. He wanted to go up, he wanted to make history by going up 2 divisions to beat Canelo, one of the greatest of all time.
Predictable. And that unpredictability is what makes him so dangerous. Canelo has thrived for years by exploiting predictable opponents, but against Crawford there was no pattern to exploit, no weakness to rely on. For Chris Eubank Jr., whose style is built on relentless pressure and a high work rate, the challenge becomes crystal clear. How do you disrupt the rhythm of a fighter who can change shape, stance, and strategy in the blink of an eye? Trainer Robert Garcia captured it best. Talent alone doesn't define greatness, hunger does. Crawford didn't just fight Canelo that night, he moved up 2 weight divisions, taking on a man widely considered one of the sport's all-time greats, and dismantled him under the brightest lights. That combination of hunger and skill was devastating. Garcia emphasized that this wasn't just about winning for Crawford, it was about cementing his legacy. Canelo underestimated that hunger, and it cost him everything. Now the question is whether Eubank Jr. possesses that same level of hunger, because
and you guys knew what was going to happen. You were in denial. That shit looked easier than Earl Spence. Did look, huh?
It's a brilliant performance. Brilliant performance.
Man. Shout out to Team Crawford, Bomac, and that whole team, man. You know what I mean?
Where'd you rank him all-time list after that?
I mean, put his face on Mount Rushmore. You know what I'm saying? He deserves his place, for sure.
Against Crawford, talent alone isn't enough. You must be willing to risk everything, physically, mentally, and emotionally, just to compete. Trainer Bill Haney went even further, claiming that Crawford's destruction of Canelo looked even easier than his previous dismantling of Errol Spence Jr., a man once feared as one of the most dangerous welterweights alive. Haney believes Crawford now deserves a place on boxing's Mount Rushmore of legends. What we saw wasn't luck or timing, Haney said. It was sustained greatness, years in the making. Crawford's team, led by trainer Brian Bomac McIntyre, executed a flawless game plan. They not only exposed Canelo's weaknesses, but also elevated Crawford into rarefied air, placing him among the sport's true immortals.